the girl discovered a bloodthirsty giant centipede in the asylum. However, he didn't choose to escape with his family. Instead, he found a room with iron bars, locked the door from the inside, leaving his family outside to be devoured by the giant centipede. The girl was so ruthless because they deserved it. In the past life, they encountered the giant centipede in the abandoned asylum. Simply because the adopted daughter said she feared being a burden, they left the girl alone to feed the centipede. But the next second, the girl was reborn at the moment the car broke down and the adopted daughter was going to stay at the asylum for the night. The girl immediately realized she had been reborn. She quickly warned everyone that there was a bloodthirsty giant centipede inside and they shouldn't go in. She then took out her phone to call for help. However, her brother knocked the phone out of her hand. Then, he took everyone's phones. With all communication devices destroyed, they had no choice but to enter the asylum. He grabbed the girl and rushed toward the entrance. The girl, terrified, screamed for him not to go in, remembering that in her past life, the centipede waited by the door. But her brother thought she was lying, so he decided to see for himself whether the centipede was outside. He walked confidently over, only to make a joke of it. Then, he mocked the girl, saying she should make the centipede bite off his leg if she could. Seeing this, the others boldly followed him in. The girl was dragged in by her brother. As soon as they entered, the main door automatically closed. The girl made up her mind to find the key and leave immediately. Meanwhile, the adopted daughter was excited. She picked up a rope and a green stone from the ground, thinking it was an item left by previous explorers. But the girl immediately knew the stone was about to hatch a centipede. She shouted for the adopted daughter not to touch it, warning that the venom would corrode the skin. But the adopted daughter refused to listen, insisting on seeing if a centipede could crawl out of the stone. Before she could finish speaking, a centipede emerged, spraying venom onto her mother's arm. Seeing this, everyone realized there was indeed a centipede. The girl immediately warned that in an hour, the giant centipede would arrive. But her brother not only refused to believe her, he accused the girl of deliberately harming their mother with acid. He threatened to kill her if she mentioned the centipede again. Then the adopted daughter suggested going to the medical room to treat their mother. Terrified, the girl quickly stopped her, saying that the medical room was the monster's lair. But everyone ignored her warning and dragged the girl to the medical room. Once inside, they didn't find a centipede. Instead, they discovered a skin suit resembling a centipede. The girl panicked, saying it smelled of blood and was the centipede shedding its skin. But her brother, growing angrier, grabbed her by the throat. He cursed her for injuring their mother without any remorse. If there was really a centipede, he'd be the first to throw her out. Before he could finish, a swarm of baby centipedes rushed into the medical room. Unexpectedly, the adopted daughter started stomping on them. The girl warned in panic that these were the centipede's offspring, and killing them would lead to revenge. But her brother became even more enraged and grabbed a baseball bat to smash the baby centipedes on the floor. At this point, the girl was completely desperate and remembered that the key to the main door was in an abandoned room. But she had to first find a safe place to fend off the centipedes. She followed the group upstairs. Along the way, there were fresh bloodstains and even unfinished corpses. These were the centipedes warning to them. When they found a body, the adopted daughter finally began to feel fear. But she still accused the girl of setting all this up. Then, while they were talking, their mother was taken away by an invisible force. Only then did they realize their mother had vanished into thin air. The girl knew time was running out and advised them to run to the third floor